Thank you to tune in to Rony TV podcast local news and international news. Let's begin. Tesla reported a significant drop in quarterly profits attributed to a decline in sales and losses in crypto assets. In response, Musk announced a reduction in his political engagements to concentrate on Tesla, leading to a 7% rise in the company's stock price. He also unveiled plans to introduce a more affordable Model Y and launch a robo-taxi service this summer. The Trump administration has implemented changes in green card adjustment of status processing, including the end of interview waivers and an increase in requests for evidence. These changes may lead to longer processing times and increased scrutiny for applicants. We continue. President Zelensky and Ukrainian officials have rejected any formal surrender of Crimea, emphasizing that such concessions would require constitutional amendments and a national referendum, which are politically and legally challenging. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has mentioned that Crimea will remain Russian territory permanently and has been evasive about the specifics of any potential peace deal. In other news, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senator Cory Booker led a live-streamed sit-in at the Capitol to protest the GOP's proposed 2026 fiscal budget. The demonstration highlighted concerns over planned cuts to Medicaid, food assistance, and programs supporting childcare, education, housing, and the elderly. Other Democratic lawmakers and civic leaders joined the protest, emphasizing the potential impact on vulnerable populations. More politic news. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced his intention to remain in his leadership role despite calls from within the Democratic Party for new leadership. This decision comes amid retirements of veteran senators and criticism over strategic decisions, such as not forcing a government shutdown over a Trump-backed funding bill. Democrats are criticizing the administration for significant staff reductions at the Social Security Administration, attributing service disruptions to mismanagement and the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Over 7,000 jobs have been eliminated, leading to increased wait times and confusion for beneficiaries. Democrats argue that these cuts contradict promises not to reduce benefits. We continue. Shannon Sharp, the host of the popular podcast Club Shay Shay, is the subject of a $50 million civil lawsuit filed by a woman identified as Jane Doe, alleging multiple instances of rape, sexual assault, and non-consensual recording and distribution of intimate acts during their relationship from 2023 to early 2025. Sharp has temporarily stepped away from his role on ESPN's First Take. ESPN has expressed support for his decision and is conducting an internal review. In Canada, a devastating incident occurred at Vancouver's Lapu Lapu Day Festival when a vehicle drove into a crowd, resulting in 11 fatalities and numerous injuries. Victims ranged in age from 5 to 65. Authorities are investigating the motive behind this senseless act of violence. In other news, Pope Francis's funeral was held on April 26th, drawing mourners worldwide. He is remembered for his humility and efforts to reform the Catholic Church. Chipotle Mexican Grill announced plans to open its first restaurant in Mexico by early 2026, marking a significant step in its broader international expansion strategy. The US-based fast casual chain will launch the new location in partnership with Alcia, a major operator of global restaurant brands in Latin America and Europe. Canada's 45th federal election is set for Monday, April 28, 2025, marking a pivotal moment in the nation's political landscape. In Haiti, the Transitional Presidential Council aims to hold elections by February 7, 2026, to restore constitutional authority. However, ongoing violence threatens these plans. The Caribbean community, CARICOM, has condemned attempts to disrupt the transitional arrangements through force. The United Nations continues to urge the international community for increased support to stabilize the situation and prevent further deterioration. That's the conclusion. Stay tuned for Don Don 604 editorial.
We have a gun.
What's that?
We have a gun.
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Can I play with it?
No, absolutely not. It's not a toy. You know that. Anyway, I need it to protect you, your sister, and Mom.
But what about the 8 kids who get shot every day by mistake?
Where'd you hear that?
Where do you keep it?
It's hidden.
I bet it's on the top shelf of the closet, under your sweatshirts. Is it loaded? Remember when I found my Christmas gift? You always told me to be curious.
No, that's not what I meant.
And when it's just me and Mom, I could use the gun to protect her.
No, Justin, I promise. I'm always here for you.
But Dad, you're not always here.
Sunshine through today with seasonal temperatures. We should reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight with a low near 70.
Got a quarter?
Thank you, people, to tune in to Rony TV podcast. I'm your host, Don604. We're going to have a wonderful show. You already know that. So, shout out to Padnet TV. So, for those of you who want to be involved in the broadcasting industry, wants to have your own show, just like I'm doing, they're the plug. They're the plug. They're located in 117 West Victoria in Long Beach. So, you gotta holler at them, because they're the plug. So they do have workshop if you wanna know how to do recording. If you wanna use the studio, they do have all the facility to help you to do that. So post-production, pre-production, everything, and they have a wonderful resource people also. That's being said. Oh, today, I'm gonna be right away on the subject. We're gonna have editorial regarding Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. So most likely, let me give you the good thing about him. You know what I'm saying? So he played for the Denver Broncos. 1990 to 1999, 2002, 2003, and he played for the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 and 2001. So it says he's got around 800 reception, 10,000 receiving yard, 62 touchdown. So most likely 3-time Super Bowl champion with Denver. And also with Baltimore, 8 times Pro Bowl selection, 4-time first team All Pro. So most likely he's the man. He's a good person in terms of athlete. You know what I'm saying? So they inducted him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. So you understand? So he was the first tight end of NFL history to surpass the 10,000 receiving yard. So this is what it is. So right now, how could I say that? Let me take a quick break and let you know right now. So thank you again, people. For those of you who just tuned in to Rony TV podcast, for those of you who's listening to me with your smartphone, for those of you who listen to me to your smart TV, I welcome you. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and come back. Thank you to tuning in to Rony TV podcast. I'm your host, Don604. Yes, for those of you who just tuned in, it's the editorial. And like I said, if you don't like my sauce, get your own source. Get your own media source, because your news is my news. Okay? So yeah, Sharp, stepped down from the role on ESPN for his stake. So he's got a 50 million civil lawsuit against him. So the lawsuit allegedly, they're saying sexual assault and misconduct during a relationship that began in 2023, I mean. So for sure, Shannon has denied the allegation, asserting that the relationship was consensual, and is characterizing the lawsuit as an extortion attempt. He's rich, he's got a big network, but some people say, you see, that's what you're going when going out with a white girl. I'm not trying to do the talking about the race card right now, but I grew up in Canada. Almost my girl, they're white. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for my sister. I went out with black girl. It seems like, I guess, the black girl won't put you in a lawsuit, I guess, except the one of, except the ratchet one, I guess. Because remember with Mike Tyson, I'm not trying to say she's a bad girl. She's a bad bitch, I can say. But it seems like all those allegedly a lawsuit coming from white girl, they get the gudu, and then when they're not happy, they decide to do a lawsuit. So, and a rich people, you know what I'm saying? Rich brother. So yeah, the lawsuit sexual, and I don't understand. So there's a audio tape going on, and it's really bad for him, talking about, when I see you, I'm going to choke you. When I see you, I'm going to choke you. Damn. And you said it's built with muscle. When I see you, I choke you. You don't say that. First of all, I'm sure, like you said, it was consensual, but you got to keep your emotion, low, because you never know if they recording you, so, because I do have a friend. Can I say a friend? I do have a friend in Canada who have the same problem. I mean, him, they allegedly, they're saying he did it and he's guilty, but he's going to have a new trial. I could give you his name, Ugachuku. Gucci Boy, aka Gucci Boy, you know what I'm saying? Nigerian Nightmare, Nigerian production. So he doesn't have a lawsuit, but he's got criminal ongoing. So it's not like, because as you know, with Sharpen, the analogy I want to do is, when you're not big enough, or when they're not with you, they drop you. So despite the controversy, Sharpen continued to appear in the podcast, Nightcap. So you saw him in the NFL draft, and he didn't address that. So ESPN has expressed support for his decision to take, a break. So, but to come back to my friend Gucci Boy. So he plays some good movies. I don't say if he's a good actor, but he plays some good movie, brush shoulder with some big actors, you know what I'm saying? But Actra dropping. I'm not even sure that the how could I say that, the agent, the bloodsucker vampire agent, ask him, oh, we're going to get through that, and I'm going to help you. And no, they drop him. He's on TV. He's already there. Let me drop him. So that's why. So to make the analogy, obviously, Shannon Sharp have backup. he's got also people behind him to helping him. But Gucci Boy had nobody. But he turned, and when you have nobody and he's trying to, thinking we his enemies, I don't really talk to him anymore, you know what I'm saying? But what I told him, what I'm going to tell you too, if you're my friend and you have that, I want to have your version. I want to have your story, regardless if you're guilty. But he didn't want to tell. You know what he told us? He told us, "Oh, I don't have to tell you anything, guys. I don't have to tell you anything." So I don't know if he's hiding something, or did he sign a NDA? So I don't know, you know. So yeah, so he didn't want to get his version. But that's being said, we got to be careful. Even me, I got to be careful, you know, because I think I went out with some acquaintance of Gucci Boy girls, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I didn't see any lawsuit against me. So I'm not popular. I'm just underground, you know, underground bubbling. But yeah, this is really like that's the era we're going. We're going into those, you know, tits for tats. And I call you, you didn't answer your phone, you're trying to annoy me. I saw you at the gala, you had another white girl in your arm, and you didn't. How could you do that? How could you do that? I'm your main bitch. I'm your main bad bitch, and you avoided me. So I don't know. That could be like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful now. You got to investigate those girls who like you, who wants to be with you. Is it because they want to be with you with the money? Is it because they want to be with you with your big ding-a-ling? I don't know, but you got to be careful. And if you're emotional, like you deserve to be choked, that's not a conversation you need to have with her. You know what I'm saying? Especially if if I don't know what kind of kinky games Shannon were playing with that woman. But we got to be careful too. We got to, even me, and when I'm talking, we got to be careful, especially me. You know, I like bad bitch too. I like beautiful woman, but do I have to jump on the relationship? I have to leave my house and go live with her? I got to tell her, oh, I'm going to give you everything. Listen, a man not supposed to say you got to give everything to a woman. If their dad cannot give them everything, it's not you going to give them everything. So you got to watch out the way you approach a woman, you know. So I'm not trying to say, don't live your life. But right now, that's the era we're going to. Men have some power, and they want to put their power in motion, and maybe trying to control the lady, saying, hey, if she love me, let me ask her to do that. Let me ask her to do that. Come tonight, right now. And sometimes, that woman, she vindictive, so, and, and sometimes they have abuse, they mental abuse. They also have, a lot of baggage, so we got to invest in that. I always say I got my mistake too. Don't get me wrong. I'm telling you, you don't move out of woman's house unless you got a kid with her. You don't move. You don't have your apartment and move out to a woman's house. That's a no-no. I don't care if you're trying to save money. That's a no-no. For me, I could only speak of me, my character. You don't move out to a woman's house, even if you're loved. You gotta, trying to understand her. Especially if you just met her, and what's the time frame to move out with her? That's a good question, Ronnie. I don't know. Do you understand? I don't know. So it's up to you to evaluate. It's up to you to, talk, communicate with her, and Usually when you date with a woman, they're asking you, do you have what do you do? Do you work? You have a bank account? Your credit is good? Just to let you know, when I used to live in GA, I met a girl on Craigslist. Yeah, shame on me. I met a girl on Craigslist. She asked me, "Oh, can I put, can I put, can you put me under your credit?" Because I had a credit of A1 credit, never miss a payment. My credit was like 750. Now it's going to the drain, but I have to rise up. So I'm not trying to be vindictive. So that woman had also issues. She went to prison. She did fraud. And now guess what she do? She wants to be a minister, evangelical, like a pastor. It seems like they're hiding from that, finding God. So you got to be careful. I got trapped too, you know what I'm saying? I got trapped too in those type of girl, So you just got to be careful and invest in yourself, Yeah, I'm sure Shannon is a smart dude. He's going to get through. For some reason, I think he's not guilty. For some reason. Let's take a quick break and come back for more news. Your news is my news. Stay tuned to Rony TV podcast. Thank you again, people, to tune in to Rony TV podcast. So, and other news, my Canadian fellows, my Canadian roots, you guys are voting today. You are voting today. So apparently it's it's between Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party and Pierre Poilievre Conservative Party. So this and the poll put them in the Pierre Poilievre and up there, but also they're saying 43% leading a Liberal Party and 39% on the Conservative Party. So please, Canadian, go ahead and go vote and do your diligence, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I will tell you. I interviewed that guy, Pierre Poilievre, back in the days. I think he seems like an open person. He was nice, a good person, because he speaks French too. Il parle français. Oui. Il parle français, maybe with a, not an Honky-Tonk accent, but with a, English speaker accent, So, yeah, Canadian, by the time I'm going to put that show, maybe next week, I will let you know who win and, who he is. So, and all the news also, there was a, I believe it's I don't know if it's a Filipino festival, Lapu-Lapu festival. They said they had at least 10 dead. So somebody, ran with in a crowd with a van or with a car. So this is really like, I don't know why people do that. So we got to pray for these people too, because in Vancouver, my people are dying too, you know what I'm saying? So now when you go to those festivals, you got to watch out. You can't really walk in the crowd and don't look behind you who's coming, you know what I'm saying? This really disturbing, disturbing. And all the news, they say a massive explosion at southern Iranian port has killed at least 40 people and injured around, 1,000 people. So it's really like, I don't know. I don't want to say sabotage, but apparently they had a poor parlay, U.S. and Iran, to stop, nuclear, to stop to nuclear production. It's really sad. So apparently they're saying Ukrainian reject U.S. peace proposal involving Crimea. So they dismiss the peace proposal. So that will say, that will involve surrendering Crimea to Russia, and they don't want that. President Vladimir Zelensky do not want that. So, I guess you got to switch and common ground. So keep focusing on the peace, because people are dying. It's been 3 years. People are dying. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Also, ICE deportation controversy. So apparently, Immigration and Custom Enforcement Agency has deported a Cuban-born mother of 1-year-old girl. So they deport them from, the U.S. citizen father. So they said they sparked criticism and raised concern about family separation. Yeah, so most likely we are into a dark time. We're into a dark time. So we got a lawsuit. The country is losing, losing really faith on and the new administration. But I'm sure, hopefully, we're gonna go solve that. I'm sure the president will solve that. The president will be a better man. Every day he's gonna wake up and become a better man, because he's got to listen to the constituent. You know what I'm saying? He's got to listen to the people who vote for him, and it's not about it's not about him by himself. It's about also what he could do.